Yeah, je peux définir.
Find the word for you if you'd like. Sham means fake, pretend.
No need to be insulting, counsel.
No, my marriage is not a sham.
Then you're saying that you did not engage in any deception in order to convince this court that your family is the solid unit you would like this court to believe it is.
I haven't tried to deceive anyone.
You sure about that? You want to think about it?
Get to whatever it is you want to bring out, Mr. Baldwin.
Certainly, Your Honor. Mr. Newman, you've said that your marriage had some rough spots.
You ever been married?
That's hardly the point.
I disagree.
Mr. Newman, this is not a conversation, it's a cross-examination. He asks, you answer.
Of course. We've had some difficult times, but show me a marriage that hasn't had them.
So you would say then that every marriage has its share of sexual infidelity?
No.
But yours has, though, hasn't it, Mr. Newman? Because you had an affair with Grace Turner, your wife's former best friend, didn't you?
Oh, let me look at you. Billy, when did you get so tall?
Nick's aren't after me yet, Mom.
Oh, my God, darling, this is the best surprise. I never dreamed you were coming this soon.
Oh, well, Dad handed me a plane ticket and voila.
Oh, baby, we're gonna have the best time. I can't tell you how much I've been looking forward to this. This is going to be a summer that we will always remember.
Summer. Time out for a second, Mom. I think we need to get our signals straight.
God, this is crazy. What am I doing here?
Nikki?
Hello, Brad.
Hi. For a minute there, I thought you weren't going to stay.
Oh, why did you think that?
Doesn't matter. Just glad I was wrong. You look beautiful, as always.
Thank you. I was surprised that you called.
Well, I wasn't sure that I should with Victor back.
So why did you?
I know the man has a lot going on. Thought you might be available.
Well, that's an interesting choice of words.
For dinner, Nikki.
Yes, of course. Well, here I am.
Mrs. Newman, welcome back.
Thank you.
Start you both off with some cocktails?
I will have sparkling mineral water, please.
Same for me.
You sure you wouldn't prefer something stronger?
You know you're a sight for sore eyes. It is so incredible knowing I can pick up the phone and hear your voice, or stop by your office and see you behind your desk.
Is that why you came? To make sure that I'm real?
Partly. But I also stopped by for one other reason. Something that might have slipped your mind.
What's that?
I did not have an affair with Grace Turner.
Oh, is that what you're telling this court? That you and Grace Turner did not have sexual relations?
That's not an affair. It was one time. We weren't running around making dates, sending notes to one another. That is an affair.
All right. We'll go with your definition. And I'll ask instead, did you have sexual relations with Grace Turner while you were married to your wife?
What did I just say? It was one stupid mistake.
And in your opinion, my client's mistakes, leaving Baby Doe with Mildred Johnson, leaving Madison for a period of time, what was that? 2 stupid mistakes? 3?
Your Honor, this hardly meets the criteria for a cross-examination.
Is that an objection, Mrs. Williams?
Yes. Mr. Baldwin is leading the witness, he's badgering the witness, and he's asking Mr. Newman to adjudicate the matter before the court.
All right, your objection is a matter of record, counsel. However, since there is no jury present, I'm willing to allow a certain degree of informality into these proceedings, if that's what it takes to get to the heart of the matter.
With all due respect, this is still a court of law.
If I didn't know any better, Mrs. Williams, I'd almost think that you're trying to deflect the court's attention away from the fact that it's just been brought to light. That is, Mr. Newman's marriage is perhaps not what it was made out to be.
How relevant is that?
As you yourself pointed out, the petitioner is seeking custody should Miss Johnson be stripped of her parental rights. I think you'll agree the court should know into whose care it is being asked to put this child. Proceed, Mr. Baldwin.
As you implied a moment ago, every marriage has its problems. And one hopes, of course, those problems can be worked out.
We are working through our problems.
Since when?
What do you mean?
Let me back up. After your affair, after your extramarital sexual relations, did you and your wife live apart?
For a brief time.
How brief?
I don't know, a few weeks?
Weeks, or was it months?
It felt a lot longer than it was.
And when did this estrangement end?
I don't remember.
Was it during the pendency of this case?
I think so.
Was it before or after you testified in the hearing for temporary custody?
Look, I didn't write it all down in a calendar.
But
okay?
it could have been that you and your wife got back together in or around the time that your wife filed her petition in this court.
I suppose. Are you gonna make something of that?
Well, let's see if I can. Is it possible, Mr. Newman, that you and Mrs. Newman staged this phony reconciliation for the purpose of this hearing?
That is not true.
Mr. Morgenstern's evaluation states that Baby Doe told him in so many words that you are sleeping on the couch while Mrs. Newman sleeps upstairs in the marital bed alone. Is that still the case?
Yes.
And yet you would have this court believe that the Newman household is a model of security, stability, and mutual affection, where a child can enjoy all the benefits of a 2-parent family. I'm sorry, Mr. Newman, but given the timing of this so-called reconciliation and the rather strained nature of your marital relations at home, I
Judge,
find it...
he's making a speech.
Objection sustained. You've made your point, Mr. Baldwin. Move on to something else.
Oh, Mrs. Chancellor, to see you coming down those stairs again.
Is it safe?
Oh, Chill's at the office, don't worry. She has no idea that you and that girl are here.
Good. Really in no mood to face her yet.
You still haven't told me anything about this girl. Who is she? Why was she looking for you?
Esther, now, all in good time. Please.
Yes, ma'am.
I am hungry. Do you suppose you could fix something for me to eat?
It will be my pleasure. See, so good to have you here.
Thank you. Well, how did you sleep?
Crashed.
Mm-hmm. Slept in your clothes?
There a rule against that? I never planned on staying. It's just I was so tired.
I know, we both were.
Anyways, thanks. For the bed and all. Real nice room.
My dear, I was delighted to have you. Now, are you hungry? Because if you are, Esther is in the kitchen and she can fix whatever you like. And after we eat, let's go into town and buy some new clothes, take a little tour.
Wait, whoa, not so fast.
What's the matter?
It's not that I don't like what you're doing for me. But I don't know if I'm ready for this. I know you're my grandmother and everything. It's just... it's still so weird to me.
Did I forget something or what?
Well, nothing intentionally, of course. But it is the Day of Compassion, AIDS awareness.
It is, isn't it? Well, usually we give a very good donation to them. Why don't I call the corporate giving office and then see what we should do?
Well, actually, you don't need to do that. I've already done some research, and I know who I'm going to give to.
You do?
Yeah. Memorial is starting a youth awareness program. They need seed money to train volunteers so that people can go out to the bars and the campuses and on the streets and make sure that young people are aware of where to get condoms and the needle exchange program.
You're talking about an ounce of prevention.
Exactly. And I've already made out my check, but, you know, it just never seems like you can give enough.
Unless we pool our resources.
What are you suggesting?
Well, instead of making a donation from Newman Enterprises, why don't we make it a Newman family donation? Really big one. That way, that program gets off to a good start.
So, are you ready to meet my donation, you and Mom?
You know, you should become a professional fundraiser. You drive a hard bargain.
Like father, like daughter.
So I imagine it feels pretty good having Victor home?
It's wonderful. I really am so grateful.
Nikki, what is it? You seem upset.
I have no right.
Come on, talk to me.
I just wanted to be happy. I wanted it to be our time. Victor's home, he's safe. And why can't that be enough? I know it means so much to him being with me again. His first day back was glorious. He came straight home. He didn't stop at the office. No mention of work at all.
Until today.
I just can't leave it behind. I thought after what had happened in New Mexico, he'd be able to take a step back. Not that it surprises me.
Nikki, I understand. You just missed your husband.
He's just been gone for so long. I wanted to spend some time alone with him, but instead he's back at the office, back in his meetings, press conferences, full of plans to take his company back from the men who stole it from him.
So you saw the press conference?
Oh, yes.
And you also saw Leanna.
You know, can we just change the subject?
She was really going after Victor about this woman who helped him in the desert.
Brad, what is your point?
I know how unnerved you were that she and your husband were out there together for weeks. Now Leanna's trying to put a certain spin on that. I understand how that must be very difficult for you.
Signal straight about what?
Summer.
Billy.
Look, I hope you weren't planning on me being here. I have plans.
I was told they fell through.
Well, they did. I made new ones.
Doing what?
Well, I'm gonna be heading out to the Tetons with some buddies from school. We're gonna go whitewater rafting.
Rafting? Oh, Billy, that's so dangerous.
No, Ma, it's gonna be a blast.
God, I can't believe your father's letting you do this.
I'm not a kid, Mom. All right, Dad's cool about it.
When are you leaving?
Beginning of July,
Sweetie, that's next week.
which is why I'm here early.
Oh, Billy, we were supposed to spend the first 2 weeks of July together.
Yeah, so we'll do 1 week now and pick up another week later. Is that all right?
Weird. Exactly how do you mean weird?
Kay, I like you. We've been good friends, but to find out that you're my grandmother...
It is a lot to absorb.
Now you're moving me in here, making all these plans, sticking me in this life. I don't know if I can deal with it. It's all so strange.
Well, yes, of course it is strange, dear. We're just getting to know each other.
For me to settle in, pretend this is home.
It wouldn't be pretending.
No, you don't get it.
Yeah, Max, I do get it. Now, you look at me. Now, you came to Genoa City looking for your grandmother. What is it exactly that you hope to find?
I don't know. Family.
Family, yes, someone you could count on.
I've never had that before. Not really. I mean, my mom tried, but being married to that drunk... Still, this?
Well, this is a far cry from shelter.
Exactly. That's the last thing I expected.
Look, whomever you found was going to be a surprise. Do you understand that? Because all you had was this address and a name from a long ago letter. You had no idea whatsoever the kind of response you were going to get.
Okay, look where we met. Now here we are at your house with that lunatic you live with. What's her name?
Joe?
She's not here, is she?
No. No, she's tucked safely away at the office, I assume.
But she could come in any minute. Well, start going ballistic. Kay, I don't know what your deal was with her, but it was enough to drive you out onto the streets. Why would you ever want to come back? That makes no sense. And she was a witch to me.
Perhaps I just felt it was time to stop running.
And do what? Fight? Stand up for yourself? What kind of a mess is that going to turn out to be?
Ma...
I left home to get away from that crap.
You are my granddaughter, and I want you here with me.
How's Joe going to react to that?
I have every right to ask you to stay here. Forget Joe.
And I have a right to say no. Not get into the middle of this. I think it'd be best if I hit the road.
And, Mr. Baldwin, please confine yourself to at least a somewhat traditional cross-examination.
Actually, I have no further questions at this time, Your Honor.
How convenient.
Would you like to recross counsel?
Not at this time, though I may want to call Mr. Newman again later.
You may step down.
Your Honor, may I say something?
I was going to call a recess.
Well, I'm sure you're interested in the truth. I don't think what you heard today is the truth.
That's a hard thing to pin down. Very well. Go ahead, Mr. Newman.
What Baldwin said is true. It was a stupid mistake, but it did happen. I have beaten myself up. I have apologized. I have begged Sharon to realize that what happened between Grace and me meant nothing. When she was hurt so badly. You see, it seems in life that it only takes a moment to hurt someone. But it takes forever to heal. And I know Sharon's tried. She wants to forget, but she's angry and confused. And she hadn't known if she could ever trust me again. It takes time. And this awful thing with Alice has brought us closer together. We have shared the suffering of our child. We have tried to help Cassie through this together. There's nothing phony about it, Your Honor. I love my wife. I would give my life for yours. I would cut off my arm if I could take back any of the pain that I caused you.
Your Honor, this is all very touching.
Shut up!
Mr. Newman.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. But I want you to know, and I want you to know, and I need you to know that my marriage is the most important thing in my life. And if anyone thinks that we don't have a real, committed marriage, he doesn't have 1/10 the love in his life that Sharon and I have.
Court is in recess.
I promise you that you will have a check in your hand by the end of the day.
Great. That woman at Memorial is going to be ecstatic. This is a great program, and it's right here in our own community.
My sweetheart, I'm so proud that you're involved in this. I just wonder how they're going to find a cure for this plague.
Well, that's why we need continued support from the private sector. We have to fight this on both fronts, prevention and research.
Yeah. As I have to fight those two thieves on both fronts, those two bastards who took my company away when I was gone.
Well, I just hope that while you're going after them, you don't neglect Mother.
Why would I neglect your mother?
Well, I don't think you would do it consciously.
Sweetheart, what's worrying you?
I'm not worried. I just can't help being curious about this woman you were with in the desert.
Oh, come on, not you two. You're talking about the press conference.
Well, yeah, Mother and I watched the press conference.
I told your mother that the woman that you're concerned about was involved with the fellow who held me captive. That's all.
But see, that just piques my curiosity even more. I mean, why would you protect her? It seems like she was one of your captors.
Well, not really.
Well, Dad, I mean, she could have helped the whole ordeal come to an end a lot sooner, but she didn't.
Darling, what you don't realize is that she was a victim as well. You know, she saved your father's life under very difficult circumstances. Enough said?
Enough said. For now.
One thing you're right about, though.
What's that? Who are you calling?
Michael,
What is it, Alice?
look, I'm really sorry about the way I acted before.
Forget it.
You were pretty rough on me yesterday, and I still don't get why, but today, wow. You were amazing. The way you went after Nick Newman, I mean, it was an incredible job.
I'm a professional, Alice.
No, but this goes beyond professional. No one's gone to bat for me like this. Not ever.
Look, I told you I'd do my damnedest to win this case. I believe I've demonstrated that.
Michael, I just told you how happy I am. Gave you a compliment.
Alice, this is my work. It's business. It's what I do. Don't read more into it than there is.
With what you're charging me, you know, it hardly seems like business.
I'm not charging you anything.
Well, that's what I meant. If there's nothing in it for you money-wise, you should at least feel good about how well you're doing.
You're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Yes, I handled young Mr. Newman masterfully. He made it easy by getting angry.
What did you think of what he said in the end?
This is a court of law, not a wayward husband's anonymous meeting. Nick Newman could spout Valentine sentiments all day. I had already made my point with the judge. It was about the Newmans' honesty, the state of their marriage when they filed suit, not the state of their marriage today.
Well, I just hope you know how grateful I am.
Counsel? Something I can do for you?
If I ask, will you do it?
Don't think I should answer that question.
You have a lot to answer for, you know that? A hell of a lot.
Honey, I was counting on you spending the summer at my place.
Well, no one told me about it. Our dad said you wanted to see me, so I'm here. At the end of next week, I have to be back in New York to pick up my gear and head straight to Wyoming.
Well, could you postpone your trip and join your friends later?
Mom, I can't just parachute into the middle of the river, right? We all have to start out together. That's how it works. Hey, we have this week, all right? So let's not mope around. Let's enjoy the time we have together, all right?
Quiet.
Yeah. Kids still at your mom's?
Miguel's picking them up. I'll bring them home.
You really got beat up in court today, huh? That must have been really hard on you. Hearing all that dredged up again.
There was nothing you could do. You were trapped. You couldn't lie. But, you know something? It didn't hit me as hard as I expected. I mean, I sat there waiting for the knife to enter my guts.
My client was just telling me what a terrific job I'm doing.
Oh, yeah. You're doing a wonderful job. Nothing like airing a young couple's dirty laundry for no good purpose. It's the kind of thing that makes a lawyer feel so competent. God, I can't believe I helped you get your law license
You
back.
must feel I'm winning this case.
That is all that matters to you.
Are you saying you'd like to lose?
I'm saying I care about how I conduct myself, how I win or
Don't
lose.
take the moral high ground with me, Christine.
Well, I don't have to. You're already down in the mud and you like it there. Now, you and I both know that your client has done some things in her past that would raise the hair on both our necks. Digging that up would be short work.
What are you implying?
My only interest is to protect that little girl, to make sure that her life isn't turned upside down. If I don't have to hurt anyone in the process, Michael, I won't. But if you push me...
You are speaking to me, the opposing counsel, during recess, and you're making threats? Christine, that's not very professional.
I'm just telling you how it is. Two can play at your game. If you want to put Nick and Sharon through what you
hey,
did...
I didn't make him sleep with his wife's best friend. I didn't make him lie to the social worker about the stability of his marriage.
I didn't say you did. But stop and think what's at stake here. A child's well-being.
You want me to throw this case? Lose on purpose?
God, you're not listening to me. I am asking you to let go of this insane need to beat me in court and play fair.
Playing fair for you means you win.
No, just don't trash two people whose only desire is to care and love their daughter.
You could say the same for my client.
No, you could. And you know better. But it's your job to be on Alice's side. Remember what I said. Play fair, or I will go after you and your client on your level. And trust me, you do not want that.
What was that all about?
Either they're very worried about us, or we should be very worried about them. I'm not sure which.
No. Mackenzie, no, you cannot leave town.
Well, I'm not staying here. I don't want this war.
We have finally found each other, and I'm asking you, please do not leave.
I'll go back to the shelter, figure things out, which is what you should do.
You mean,
Kay, this isn't the place for you. You ought to just go somewhere and chill.
You know, I had a lot of time in the shelter to think. And I kept asking myself over and over and over, why should I be the one to leave this magnificent home? How could I allow Jill to push me out and onto the street when that is against every instinct within me? I'm not a runner, Mackenzie. Your granny is a fighter.
It's up to you. You know what you can stomach. But from what I've seen, Jill is not gonna roll over and just play dead.
Well, I guess if this week is all you have.
Let's make the most of it.
Yes, that is exactly what we'll do, starting tonight. All right, so what do you want to do?
Well, I'm up for anything, you name it. I left my bags downstairs. I'll go bring them out to the house.
Billy, it is so wonderful to have you here.
Look, Mom, I'm sorry if you're disappointed. All right, but if anybody knows about busy schedules. Look, let me know what you figure out for tonight, okay?
Yeah.
Sharon, any way you cut it, I look like a liar up there on the stand.
It wasn't your fault. It was that awful Michael Baldwin. That man has no morals. He doesn't care about Cassie. He just wants to win, regardless of who he hurts.
Yo, I'd like to hurt him. Wipe that smug expression off his face.
Please, don't. Don't let him do this to you. I hated to see you up there going through that.
Oh, well, I figured, you know, you'd be upset. Hearing all that, it'd reopen the wounds and set us back months.
Well, have you forgotten what you said at the end there? About us? About our marriage?
I don't think it did much to impress the judge.
Well, the judge wasn't the only one in the room, Nick. There's still some wine left over from last night. Would you like a glass?
Yeah. You were right, you know. I wasn't just talking to the judge.
I know. Nick, everything you said meant so much. About me, about our family.
I meant every word.
feel so hard to leave.
You were surprised to hear how I feel. You never realized how.
Well, there were times, but I thought maybe I was misreading you.
Sharon, you weren't. I tried so many times to show you, or tell you.
I didn't know if you were interested.
Me not interested in you? Oh, baby, we have wasted so much time.
Thank you. So you never answered me, Nikki.
About what?
Leanna's ranting at the press conference. The mystery woman, her relationship to Victor.
Who was that woman anyway? I mean, what really went on between her and Victor? God, listen to me. My husband practically came back from the dead, and here I am.
Come on, Nikki. I'm listening.
Bran, I know you want me to believe that you are sincerely concerned about me.
I am concerned about you.
But you're a man of very divided loyalties. How can I know I can trust you?
You don't. And you won't until you give me a chance to prove it.
Okay, Miguel, gracias.
What did Miguel have to say?
Well, apparently your mother is not at home, pining away. She went out.
Well, I guess I owe you an apology. I should have spared you the lecture.
You had every right to speak out.
Yeah, I'm sure you really missed that part of me while you were away.
You know something I did? You know how glad I am to be called to task by my daughter again?
Good. Well, I better get back to work.
Now, wait a minute, I have a better idea. Now that your mother can't go with me, why don't you go out and have a bite to eat?
Yeah, that sounds great. Where do you want to go, Gina's?
I don't feel like Italian food. How about the lodge?
Perfect.
How nice. A date with my daughter.
I'm not sure it was wasted time, Nick.
No, I didn't mean.
I know.
We were together. We're a family, sharing things.
But not... I wasn't sure.
Me either.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of like so near, yet so far. Especially.
Wait.
Remember the night I went to New Mexico? I followed you upstairs. I almost came into the bedroom.
I wish that you would have.
Eventually I did. But by the time I got in there, you had already fallen asleep.
No, I was just lying there. I was thinking about you. And then I thought I heard the door, but by the time I looked up, you were gone. I came down the stairs. I got your note. So I thought I was just imagining things.
You weren't. I wanted you so bad. It was real. It is real.